Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today we're going to be talking to you about the upcoming Chaldea Boys event on NA. Now, just sort of recapping for you guys here real quick, we did already get the 23 million downloads campaign, aka the Spring Has Already Sprung campaign. That basically happened early. It even happened a day earlier than it did on JP, even though as of the launch of that, we were actually 3 days behind JP. So as a result of that, I'm going to get out in front of this and assume that they might actually be bringing us Slapstick Museum, aka our Chaldea Boys for this year, basically on time with JP, maybe even early. I assume they're just going to kind of squish that download campaign, and that's going to be how they're going to catch up on the time, so that they can again get ahead of things. And this is sort of one of the things I said in my last video about events, is that, like, yes, I wouldn't be worried about the fact that we had been 3 days behind. I think they're just going to go ahead and actually catch us up by smushing some of the stuff together and overlapping. One of the other things I want to briefly touch on before we begin here is we are supposed to get a class-based summoning campaign later in March. I do not believe you'll actually get this, and if you do, it probably will not have pity attached to it because of the way this banner works. So essentially, now that pity is out on NA, you typically don't have dual rate-ups for SSRs. If you do, they actually just get their own banner. So expect this banner to either not occur or to change in some way if they're going to do that. And one of the ways I've seen hypothesized that they could do this is apparently Korea has actually gotten a Lost Belt Kings banner to celebrate their sort of countdown to LB6. It does say on their banner that it is Korean exclusive, but NA could get some variant of that or something similar. So do expect that this banner probably does get a change, even though it may not be exactly as, the Lost Belt Kings banner, or even as the class-based banner will be. So I just would keep your eyes peeled for that, and they may actually switch it up on us. But again, we're going to talk about Slapstick Museum here, and this was our Chaldea Boys for the year. It's a very straightforward event. Everything is 40 AP pretty much, and you're just going to sit there sort of locked out and gated as to the main quest completion. But there is no point ladder. There's no extra gimmick. It's just about clearing the shop and kind of getting everything that you need out of the event. So just talking about it, you will get a costume dress as well for Amakusa Shirou. If you guys already have him, that's great. If you don't and you're unsure, go ahead and get it anyways, because again, if this event ever were to get a rerun, or again, if you ever were to stumble across Amakusa, you would then have it. So you don't have to actually have the unit in order to unlock the costume dress. And again, if you were to have another crack at it, it might actually get you a rare prism at some point. So that's going to be why you'd want to do that. Talking about event bonus, Amakusa himself is going to have 100%. All male servants are going to have 50%, and then you guys can see it also includes some of the weird hybrid type ones where maybe either gender unknown, or they maybe have dual types in that case, like Dioscuri. So do keep in mind that they will basically have every single male or male associated character will have damage bonus here. And then on top of that, they've also got Jinki down here with the 30%. Craft essences from the old Chaldea Boys 2021 campaign will provide drop bonuses for event currency. Sorry, not the old one. This is the current one. And again, as you guys can see, there will be special voice lines for Amakusa in the shop. But otherwise, again, you're just going to have your 5-star CEs are going to give you the gold mat, your 4-star are going to give you the silver, and your 3-star are going to give you the bronze. That's pretty normal, par for the course type stuff. There are 2 sets of campaigns here. Again, expect these to somewhat change due to the fact that we have pity now on NA. Sort of like you guys saw for the Valentine's banners, expect the exact same thing to happen with Chaldea Boys here. So you guys can't expect that Amakusa will have his own banner on right up with the 4-star, and then you can probably expect that each and every single one of these 5 stars that is available here, all of which are either permanent or story locked, they will all have their own solo banner for a day during this campaign. So again, if you want any of these units, you can pick them up here with the Chaldea Boys CEs, and that'll be something that you can rely on if you're trying to find a way in which to get them maybe away from other banners. So just keep in mind, depending on who you want, someone like, say, Waver, again, this is someone that you can actually roll here. And then if you wanted to, you could free up having to pull him with your SSR ticket selector that happens later at Annie 6. So certainly keep that in mind as well. Again, I already have the video for that out if you guys want to check on that. That way you guys can make your plans and your rolling accordingly. But again, that is something that I would take under consideration. Is you can either avoid rolling to pick someone on the SSR ticket, or you can roll to free up the SSR ticket. That's just up to you. Just keep in mind, we've got a lot of big units coming up this year that you guys are probably going to want to save for. Now, with regards to the actual Chaldea Boys craft essences, again, if it's split stats, I probably really don't care about investing in it too much. You're not going to hear me talk about it too much. But Club Argonauts is not a bad one to get this year. Again, it is Pierce invincibility and critical damage of 30% at MLB. It's max attack scaling, so that is a decent one. I think the biggest problem you're going to have here is because it is one of 2 different 5-star craft essences. You will be having sort of dual rate up there for the 2 craft essences, and thus they're going to compete with each other. So that means it might take you longer to MLB one than the other, or maybe you just get really lucky and get it fast. But it's something I would worry about if you are going to roll for this stuff. Really not too much else here is going to be worthy of your time. I will say the debuff immune on round of ice is not too bad. And do remember, you typically get to pick a copy of a craft essence for every Chaldea Boys, so you will get at least one choice if you want that. If you do plan to roll, I highly recommend doing your rolls first before selecting a CE, because again, maybe you get MLB, maybe you're one away from MLB, that sort of thing. It might help you to actually wait to delay your choice till later on that. But again, I don't really see anything else that stands out too much. You do have an overcharge CE here as well as one of the 4 stars. But still, there's plenty of other options that you guys can go for in that regard. Now, looking at the 3rd summoning campaign, it's going to be the return of Voyager, aka Voyager here. And Voyager will basically just come with the same units that Amakusa did. But again, Voyager's another unit now that is a lot better due to his upgrades. So he's not still the end-all be-all in any regard for AoE foreigners, but he is a solid choice. And he actually works kind of similar to someone like Da Vinci Rider in the fact that he can actually charge the party after his MP goes off. So that is a really, really nice thing for him, and can allow him to work in sort of hybrid setups from time to time. I didn't really talk about Amakusa too much, but Amakusa is at least in a better place. He does get some upgrades with this Chaldea Boys that actually help him out, and he is going to be somebody that really now actually is decently hard hitting as far as AoE rulers go, and does have still his ability to remove all buffs from the enemies whenever he uses his MP. So that is going to be one of the big reasons to roll for him. Again, here you go. Here is his actual strengthening, which dramatically reduces the cooldown, but it's still pretty rough there. It's also going to reduce one enemy's MP charge, and then basically give them Buster down for 5 turns. That is a new effect that does help it out. I believe it's only 20% off the top of my head there, but still nice. And then he also, because this is the skill that already gave charge per turn, he does now get flat charge up front on the front end of the skill, which is kind of weird. I talked about this actually during my banner review video, but essentially Amakusa, it almost seems like he was designed irregardless of append skills, where they kind of took a look at this and they put 20% charge on the front end of the skill so that he could still work with something like a normal K-scope instead of having to have MLB. I did find that really funny, but at the end of the day, this just means that even with an append, instead of starting him out at like say 80%, now you can start him out at 60% with this skill and his maxed out append. So it's up to you to determine what you want to do there. Maybe you don't use the append, maybe you just try to save yourself some resources, but it is a nice thing overall depending on your circumstances. Again, Da Vinci Caster here is going to get the upgrade to her golden rule, which finally gives her the party-wide arts performance. This not only is going to help out her damage, but it's also going to help her work in hybrid setups as well. So that's another really welcome change for her. And then basically Jin Ki is going to get Kill a Man in 10 steps, which is going to add essentially increased damage against king enemies. So she gets her final trait there added, and that's going to actually help her out quite a bit, because there are some riders that actually are king traded, so she can definitely be a nice valuable low star unit to take care of that on a budget. So it's certainly going to help out Jin Ki in that regard. Again, looking at the event shop here, that is where you're going to get Amakusa's costume. And again, this is going to be our gold shop here, our 5-star shop here, where you're going to get eggs, you're going to get reactor cores, you're going to get also shells. So for those of you guys trying to stock up ahead of summer, here you guys go. You got some opportunity to just remember summer 6 this year going to be a really good farming style of event. A lot of people are going to be probably going hard in that, and it will have shells in it, so you probably just need enough shells to actually either get you to summer, or again work on maybe some pivotal key units ahead of summer. Again, then you're also going to have your gold foes here. They're certainly going to be something you're going to want, and then your blue command code key. And then for your silver materials here, you're going to have feathers, you're going to have aurora steel, you're going to have dust here as well. And then the silver monuments, I didn't talk about the gold really too much because most of the time you guys don't have to consider that, but certainly if you're a newer player and you're really hard up for statues, the silver ones are actually the ones I typically tell you to get, because as you reach max level, as you reach high-end content, sometimes you do just get gold statues dropping for you. You rarely get silver statues though, so a lot of the times this is where people get stuck with regards to their needs for statues. So that's why I tell people, if you're going to get any out of an event, definitely go there. As like with regards to the strategy on that too, a lot of the times how I do it on my JP account, which I try to run on a more free-to-play capacity, what I'll do is I'll wait for an event that I roll in, and then because I rolled, I had craft essences, so I'm even more efficient. That's where I'll start buying out more of the shop stuff, like the skill gems, stuff like the statues and monuments, if I feel like, hey, I had enough time and enough efficiency to be able to do that. But if you don't roll, maybe hold off, don't go too hard in that, maybe wait for an event where you actually do finally roll. That's where then again you probably should try to full clear the shop. Otherwise, I tell you guys, always get all the essential materials, always get all the like craft essences, get the foes and all that stuff, get all the pivotal stuff. But typically you guys can hold off on statues and monuments unless you absolutely need them. Again, you got another gold foe here, the attack one, and then you've got a red command code key here. I would not bother actually picking up the command code remover. It is just a waste of your resources at this current point in the game. And then again, for your bronze here, you've got gears, you've got proofs of the hero, and you've got cerebrospinal fluid. You've also got your last gold foe in the shop here, and then your normal foes. And again, these are still worth getting for you since you can only get them so fast. And you've still got your normal embers, and even if you're not going to use the silver embers, hey, that's still basically a way to look at it is, even if you burn them all, that's 100 mana prisms right there, so still not too bad. Again, you've also got your quick command code key there, and so you should have quite a bit of stuff out of this shop that you can get. But again, nothing really too much in the way of actual gimmicks in this. There is no ladder, there is nothing that you have to actually do other than just kind of get the stuff. Again, you've got your free quests here. They're going to unlock basically as you complete the story, so nothing too much to write home about. And then looking at your 90 plus here, basically it should be a 1-2-2 node of lancers. Again, for those of you guys that are getting tired of seeing lancers, this is the things I tried to warn people about with regards to having a good AoE saber. Certainly this is kind of why it feels like really even before Muramasa came out, but certainly after Muramasa, they really started hitting a lot of these 90 plus nodes with the Lancer class in order to try and make it worth it. Again, I think it was just a class that they knew people reasonably should be able to do, and that's why they kept hammering them. It will be dropping your stingers as well as your LB 5.5 hearts. So definitely nice in that regard for those of you guys still trying to get out and over the hump on that material. Now, oh yes, one of the other things I did not say here, again, you will have a challenge quest and you will, as you guys can see, have quite a bit to do in it, but you will get a lore from that. One of the things I didn't say here is, again, with regards to the banners, this is the exact same thing as Valentine's, which means, yes, you can only roll males here in Chaldea Boys. So just like with Valentine's where you can only roll females on it, you can only roll males in the Chaldea Boys banner. So any spooks that you get while you're rolling any one of these units, it'll either be one of the other units available or a low star that is only male. So that is one of the sort of trademarks of Chaldea Boys. So again, let me know what you guys are looking forward to in this event. Are you planning to roll? I'll read your comments down below, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Have a good one.